recovery. You mentioned KG Canaleta back after a month. So excited na talaga sila, but they really want to temper their emotions and really just focus on the game at hand. Mix and Coach Juanito.
Juanito, for you to not be able to play 20 straight days of competitive basketball, how challenging is it for you to get back into peak shape?
It's actually very, very challenging because it's one thing to get into physical shape and it's another thing to get into basketball shape. So those are two different things, and it's going to be a challenge to go back, but these guys are veterans, so I'm sure that they already have the IQ on how to adjust in the game.
At least they bought a little bit of time for KG Canaleta to at least get back into 80 to 90% form in tonight's matchup. Let's break down the playoff bracket, what's happening so far in the MPBL postseason.
We see here there are already few teams that have already gotten their first wins, and one is already at 1-0. Caloocan with the upset, getting that 1-0. On the other end, Quezon also getting 1-0, as well as Parañaque as well, getting their first win. So it's been a very exciting first few days of the playoffs, and dito itutuloy na naman natin ang excitement here in Batangas City Coliseum.
No, the excitement continues for the hottest team in the MPBL, Biñan coming in with a 9-game winning streak. That's the longest from the season on to the playoffs, and they have been led by that guy, Pamboy Raimundo, who back in the day actually led the Jensen Warriors to a playoff appearance. Tonight, he will take on his former team on the first playoff appearance of Biñan Tatakgel.
Well, it's the first playoff appearance of Biñan, but Pamboy Raimundo has been around the playoffs of the MPBL for quite some time. He can lead this team once again to a deep playoff run. We do know that this team has a lot of veterans, has a lot of talent, and now they have character to build on where everybody has a good role, especially adding on to a very good coaching staff, Coach Gino Manuel, Coach Boyd Fernandez, and all the others. This team can make a deep playoff run, especially right now that they are the hottest team here in the MPBL.
Coach Boyd should be happy with the production of the before-mentioned Pamboy Raimundo, who only averages 7 points per game all season long, but in the last 6 outings of Biñan, his average has been 14.5 points per game. He will try to counter the production of the South Cotabato Warriors, who have been up and down in the last couple of games in the regular season. They have a rich history in the MPBL, actually progressive dahil first round exit sila in their first 3 seasons, and then last year they went into the second round.
Well, you know, this is a team that has always been there to compete here in the MPBL. They have not gotten very deep into our playoffs, but we do know that they have the capability to do so. They've even beaten Biñan here in this season. So this is a team that is still very, very scary. You have a lot of veterans in there. You have a lot of size. You have a lot of talent. So South Cotabato is a team that you cannot take for granted. So here, I'm sure Biñan prepared as well, as South Cotabato is very willing to compete here in this ballgame.
That dangerous storyline continues for South Cotabato, even though they've had different leaders in the past couple of seasons. In Season 3, they had Pamboy Raimundo, Robbie Celis, and Mikey Williams. Season 4, Nico Panganiban. And last year, they had John Wilson at the helm. Now let's talk about the previous meeting of Biñan and South Cotabato, a game that Juanito actually covered.
Yes, actually in this game, Biñan was well in control of that ball game. They were able to lead by double digits, but South Cotabato made that big run. They pressed really good. They were able to force a lot of turnovers, and in the end game, Christian Pajarito making that clutch basket to give South Cotabato that win. You look at the numbers right here, almost everything going the side of Biñan. Much more efficient, but it's really the turnover story, especially in that second half, where Nico Elorde was able to force a lot of turnovers against the guards of Biñan. So this is something that Biñan has to be careful on. The guards of South Cotabato is really a pressure-packed guard rotation, so they have to be careful on how they take care of that basketball.
There would be one concern for them, though, and it's a guy wearing black at the right-hand side of the screen. Enzo Hoson will not be available for tonight's action because of an ankle injury that he sustained 2 days ago, but his support is there, and Mark Cruz did tell me that we can be expecting more minutes from yet another veteran in JP Calvo. Let's get things going for Biñan Tatakgel and South Cotabato in game number 1 as we turn you over to Richard Campos for our South Cotabato and Biñan game 1 matchup. This is carrying momentum in the MPBL playoffs.
First, the Biñan Tatakgel Beast Motorcycle GameX. At guard number 88, Kenny Roca Curba. Forward number 31, Jamar Gimpayan. Also at forward number 22, Carlo Lastimosa. Starting at guard number 0, Pamboy Raimundo. And at center number 15, Pinoy Sakuragi, Mark Pingris. The head coach is Boyet Fernandez. Assistant coaches Gino Manansala, Gino Manuel, Eliazar Cabutotan, J.R. Manansala, Jerwin Gago, Enrico Meyer Hopper. Team manager Jojo Cunanan. LGU partner Biñan City Honorable Vice Mayor Jel Alonte with Monching Talisayon. Team owners Sajid Anyo Nuevo. Now for South Cotabato Warriors. Playing center number 1, Jamer Hamito. Guard number 4, Nico Elorde. Also at guard number 7, Kyle Tolentino. Power forward number 20, Jerby Cruz. The other forward number 21, the MPBL inaugural season MVP, Val Acuna. The head coach is Elvis Tolentino. His assistants are Boying Diloy, Jesus Ramon Pito, Apple Coronado, Peter Deleguero, and Rod Tolentino. The team manager, Merman Flores. Team owner, rap artist, Michael Pacquiao.
We have our starting fives brought to you by Sports Max, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. It's Kenny Rojo Curva with Pamboy Raimundo, Mark Pingis, Carlo Lastimosa, and Jmar Gimpayan for Biñan. And then we have Kyle Tolentino, Nico Elorde, Jamer Hamito, Val Acuna, and Jerby Cruz for the South Cotabato Warriors. A lot of veterans present in game number 1 for this quarterfinal series inside the Batangas City Coliseum. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Comments at your service alongside Juanito Gregorio. Our courtside reporter is Megan Cabrera. This is our last day for game 1s in the quarterfinals. We will proceed with our game 2s this coming Saturday. So make sure to not miss out on the MPBL action, as that was a nice block by Mark Pingis. And here's Jamer Hamito on his recovery. Still no good.
It's a really good start for them, going aggressive. You see that South Cotabato has a different game plan, nothing slow. They get aggressive right away.
Mark Pingris giving it up onto Jmar Gimpayan. Pinapalabas si Carlo Lastimosa. Defended by Val Acuna, who used to play for Batangas back in the day. 5 on the shot clock. Pingris that was swiped by a certain Warrior. And Pingris cannot believe that the referee was pointing South Cotabato's way, and so they will keep possession.
I was actually looking at Mark Pingris early before this ball game. He was warming up. Usually Mark Pingris is very playful, talks to a lot of fans, talks to the other team. But today Mark Pingris is really focused on getting that win. He was quiet, he was serious, he was really focused on this ball game. So that's something that is very, very scary, as Mark Pingris, as we know, is a champion in Philippine basketball.
And we have felt his impact in the 9 games that he played in the regular season. Pingris only averaged 5 points, but 7 rebounds and 4 assists. That was quite impressive from the All-Star of Biñan alongside Kenny Rojo Curva, the other All-Star. This is Jamer Hamito onto Jerby Cruz. 12 on the shot clock. Kyle Tolentino going right. He attacks and misses. Put back for Jamer.
Jamer has Mito. I gotta commend his aggressiveness to start. He's going up against Mark Pingris, but still the same mindset for Jamer Hamito. He still has that pretty good game against Quezon, so he is bringing over that rhythm here to this ball game.
I did ask him why he's been averaging 17 points and 16 rebounds in the last 3 games, and he said it's been a shift of focus for him now on to rebounding. So it's not really more of scoring, but then again, if you focus on rebounding, the points will then domino on.
That's right. That's why he's getting a lot more offensive rebounds, getting a lot of second chance opportunities.
No second chance opportunity there. And here's Biñan off of their conversion. Kenny Rojo Curva, no foul, but there's the conversion.
You know, one thing I noticed about Biñan is that there's more roles entering this 9-game win streak of theirs. To start, they were really deep. They had a lot of options, but now they really have that strict, you are the go-to scorer, you are the rebounder. So now, with the addition of the character, mas smooth ang galaw nitong Biñan.
That's what happens when you get a constant lineup, because we did see a lot of changes for them, especially at the start of the season. There you see Coach Elvis Tolentino, the former head coach of Marikina, Now handing a deeper team as this is the drive of the All-Star, Kenny Rocakurva, the third leading scorer this season of Biñan, behind Carlo Lastimosa and KG Canaleta. 4-2 over 2 minutes gone by. J. Margimpayan onto his cutter. Lastimosa will miss. And here's Nico pushing. A steal by Kenny. Counter for Biñan. Rocakurva with his speed. He escapes.
Kenny Rocakurva really has that quick first step. He got that stop. He got that fast break. He was everything in that last play.
He does average 1.2 steals per game. That's number 1 for Biñan Tatakjel. Great consistency from Kenny Rocakurva. And this is the 3 from Jervy Cruz, way off. Rebound to Mark Pingris.
The game plan of Biñan is to really allow Jervy Cruz to take those outside shots. But Jervy so far is 0 out of 2 here to start the ball game.
On the other end, no conversion for Biñan. And here's Kyle Tolentino pushing. Forward to Elorde. Couple of trailers. Samito. Jumper. Another miss.
See, the game plan of Biñan is really to sack down. Make the bigs of South Cotabato take it from the outside. And so far, that game plan has been working on the side of Biñan.
Another miss for Tatakjel. And we're back with South Cotabato. Tolentino to the corner. Val Acuña for 3. Now that's a familiar spot for him.
No, Val Acuña was one guy who played terrific against Quezon. And we do know that if he gets going, that South Cotabato will really rely heavily on his scoring and his outside game. So Val Acuña is one guy that Biñan has to be able to locate here in this ballgame.
He's also a guy who played terrific in the final series of our inaugural season. That's why he was our first ever MVP when he played for Batangas. He's back on his home floor after all. Because now there's a foul called on Biñan. His 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. The MVP is back inside the Batangas City Coliseum. And can he actually stay consistent? That will be our question for Mr. Val Acuña. 6-5 is the tally. Almost halfway done in the opening frame. Nico Elorde going to Jervy Cruz. Hamito against Mark Pingris. Almost swiped away. 10 on the shot clock. Same guy, same result.
That left side has been a friend for Val Acuña. One from the corner, one from the wing. Same result for Val Acuña. And so far, 2 of 2 for Val.
He's 2 points away from surpassing his season average of 7.8 points per outing. As now, it's Kenny Rocakurva fouled on his drive by Tolentino.
And Rocakurva really attacking strong against the younger Kyle Tolentino, either from the right or the left side. Same mindset for Kenny Rocakurva.
There's a catch-and-shoot 3-pointer from Val Acuña himself. He does shoot at a 38% clip from downtown. That's good for number 7 in the MPBL. A percentage quite similar to our 3-point king in Orlan Mamar Jr. The first one was a conversion for Kenny Rocakurva. And he will be rewarded with one more as the referees gave out some instructions to Jammer Hamito and Mark Pingris before they box out.
I like the physicality going on early with these 2 physical bigs.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. And now we go to Megan Cabrera.
Migs, Coach Elvis Tolentino says that this is only the start of their missions. So the elimination round was a build-up of their lessons and it was something that they must go through. And he shares that through that regular season, pinakatumatak daw sa kanila yung laban nila against Nueva Ecija. It was a game where Coach Elvis gave his players full control of what they wanted to put out, and that loss allowed them to be better and to move in one direction. So for him, this is where it all boils down. Migs and Coach Juanito.
Thank you, Megan. It's good to hear some lessons that our teams were able to go through in the regular season. It's one of the benefits of having such a long year for the MPBL as Carlo Lastimosa scores for Biñan. Well, Nueva Ecija was such a special matchup, not only for South Cotabato, but for Biñan as well, because Biñan actually gave Nueva Ecija the toughest loss in the regular season.
And we see that it was slow progression para dito sa Biñan, but finally they are now one of the top teams. You know, I was talking to one MPBL veteran just a few days back, and he said that one of the scarier teams they're looking forward with is Biñan. So we do know that Biñan is really making a mark the past few games here in the MPBL.
But I want to know who that veteran is.
Maybe off. Baka lang mabigla nating ma-name drop dito. So off-air ko na lang kwento sa inyo.
Okay. Now it's Kenny Rojo Curva converting again for Biñan. Kenny now has 7 points in total out of the 11 of Tatak Gel. This is Val Acuña going to Nico Elorde, screened by Jervy Cruz. 4 minutes to go in the opening frame. Nico up top. It's a 3 and a conversion.
Now the outside game is working for South Cotabato. This is one of the teams that takes a lot of three-pointers, and if it goes in, we do know that eventually nakakalayo itong South Cotabato. So Biñan has to be able to close out and limit the shooters of South Cotabato here in this game.
They're not just one of, they're the team who takes the most threes in the regular season, and I'm sure that will translate in the playoffs, as now it's Lastimosa converting for Biñan, the team who on the other hand shoots second to the last in three-point attempts.
It's going to be an inside-outside ball game that we're going to watch here.
13-11 cross score. Jervy for 3, no good. Rebound Kenny, and we're back with Biñan. Curva using the screen of Mark Pingris. Strong side. Kenny had to hang in the air. No good. And here's Nico Elorde.
It's good defense by Kyle Tolentino to limit the left side of Kenrico Curva.
Tolentino. His turn to fire. In and out. Rebound to Biñan. Back and forth we go. We're seeing the players a bit gassed here. They will continue fighting as Lastimosa leans in and misses. Still no stoppage. Elorde hands it off. Acuña. Another 3. No good. Ball tapped and obtained by the Pinoy Sakuragi. He's not losing energy at all. Alley-oop. That's tapped away by Acuña, and finally a stoppage for our players.
South Cotabato really relying heavily on that three-point line. Almost all of their shots is coming out of that three-pointer. So that's one thing that they really are going to gun for here in this ball game. I think that's going to be one thing that they will be missing. Enzo Joson is a guy that can actually attack that lane when their shooting is not working, but he will not be playing today with that ankle injury. So someone has to step up on the side of South Cotabato.
Joson is the second leading scorer after all for the South Cotabato Warriors, averaging 8.8 per outing. No one actually averages more than 9.5 points per game. It's been that balanced for them as Pamboy Raimundo just scored. Raimundo, it's good to see that he's carrying on his momentum that he built in the last third of the season. Now there's a push by Biñan. It's called on JR Alabanza.
And just going back to Pamboy Raimundo. To start the season, he was having less time. They were balancing it out between Manalang, between Helterbrand, between Jimboy Estrada. But now that he is the main point guard, he has more control of the offense. You see that they're flowing around Pamboy Raimundo. That's why he's averaging 14 points a ball game the past few games.
It's 8 points per game in the first 8 games for Pamboy Raimundo, and then the 14 in the last 7 outings. Wow, feet work for Chris Dumapig.
That's just terrific feet work para dito kay Chris Dumapig. Even the fans of Batangas was just in awe of how beautiful that move was. What a terrific 2 for Chris Dumapig.
Here's Pamboy, back at it. They're up by 3. Raimundo up top. Yes, sir.
Back-to-back threes for Pamboy Raimundo, both off the dribble. Cannot give him space. You have to fight over the screens because Pamboy Raimundo, given that space, will take it, will make it.
We were talking about his hot streak, the 14 points per game in the last 6 outings. He's been shooting from downtown at a 60% clip. It's been that efficient for Pamboy. Now Dumapig answers back.
This was not the inside-outside matchup we were talking about. We expected Biñan to take it inside and South Cotabato to take it outside. But so far, Pamboy and Chris Dumapig are doing the opposites.
Raimundo up top onto Alabanza. Under a minute remaining in the first. 8 on the shot clock. Raimundo trying to escape the defense of Benson to no avail. Here he is. And he's fouled. That was tough for Pamboy.
Oh,
But
Pamboy.
now, this could be concerning as he holds on to his left ankle.
He's not happy. He's saying that there was a foot under his landing spot. They're putting a taller guy on Pamboy Raimundo to try and limit his production. So Benson will be put. Let's see here once again.
Oh, that was Lumapig underneath.
So it's not Benson. It's the help side defense of Chris Dumapig that the Pamboy Raimundo is not happy about.
It's just very uncommon to witness something like this because it's usually a three-pointer
Yes,
kung saan
it's usually
poor
from the
yung close
outside.
up. Could this be an unspo?
We'll see from the referees what their call will be.
We have Edmar Avis, Jovet Ocfemia, and Jay Francisco working with Alvin Susongko. The 4 officials in this matchup.
Upon review, it was an unsportsmanlike
There you go, it is an
foul
unspo.
on number 18,
Landing
Chris
spot.
Dumapig is first.
Called on
13
Chris
foul.
Dumapig.
It's a late help galing dito kay Chris Dumapig. AJ Benson fought over. Chris Dumapig was forced to help. But that late help will put a foot on the landing spot of Pamboy. You see that replay once again. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike on Chris Dumapig. He has to be careful because 2 will be a forced ejection.
And we've seen that in the past series, or in the current series of
Yes.
Caloocan and Manila, wherein Greg Slaughter won't be able to play in game number 2. So you got to be careful with your status, not only for this game.
And we know that Chris Dumapig plays heavy minutes para dito sa South Cotabato. One guy they can rely on the post. So Chris Dumapig has to be careful with his fouls and also his unsportsmanlike fouls.
Raimundo converted from the line. It is now 21-15, 46 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Jonathan Gray will inbound. Alabanza handing it off to Pamboy. The hot hand. Short. There's a push by Maestre. Bit of a late call there, but still, that stands against Mike Maestre.
Biñan started slow in their offense here in this ball game, but all of a sudden, Pamboy Raimundo controlled the pace. A little help coming from Lastimosa as well. Now they have a 6-point lead.
35 seconds. Mark Cruz will bring it down against JJ Pido. Bounce pass onto Apreku. Felix Chris Dumapig. South Cotabato locating AJ Benson. Couple of dribbles, the leaner, and the bucket.
It's one thing that AJ Benson can give. He can attack that ball even with that size. And with that length advantage, he can take it up top. That's the floater coming from Benson.
Last 10 seconds. Biñan will give it up to Jonathan Gray. 4 seconds. Gray attacks. Right-handed shot, no good. And that's going to do it for our opening frame. No more half-court heave from Mark Cruz. It is 21-17 after 10 minutes.
You know, it was a good start coming from South Cotabato, led by Val Acuña, getting that early lead. But eventually, Raimundo and Lastimosa quick to answer, getting the lead back on the side of Biñan for them to be able to get this 4-point lead.
So the momentum has been carried over to the playoffs for Biñan Tacchel, but it's still too early. Only 25% of the game done. Carlo Lastimosa in good shape alongside Pamboy Raimundo, as you mentioned. A couple of guard plays from Biñan Tacchel as they look to extend their winning streak to 10 games here in our campaign. 21-17. This fan of the game is brought to you by Jinky Skin. She is located behind the bench of Biñan Tacchel. It's great to have her inside the Batangas City Coliseum as she supports the hottest team in the league. Biñan has the advantage 21-17 after 1 here in game number 1. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Juanito Gregorio and Megan Cabrera. First possession for the white shirts in the second frame. Oh, there's a charge. And that's 2 on Mike Maestre.
That's a good call. That was terrific defense by Felix Aprecu. Kahit saan pumunta si Maestre, may tao sa harap niya.
Just saw the field goal story in the first 10 minutes, and we need to notice something in terms of the scoring of Biñan.
Well, Biñan only has 3 guys scoring. It's actually the guard and the wings all making the scoring. Raimundo with 8, Rocacorba with 7, Lastimosa with 6. So only 3 guys doing the scoring para dito sa Biñan.
Here's Marvin Jonicio. Nice fake. No basket. Ball tapped and recovered by Maestre. And here's JJ Pido.
That's going to be a challenge for Biñan. All the 3 scorers not inside the court. So it will rely heavily on Pido and Manalang to do the scoring para dito sa Biñan.
Here's Pido. 7 on the shot clock. JJ feeds. Maestre will shoot and he will score.
Specialty of the house para dito kay Mike Maestre. Every time you leave him on the mid-range, he's very comfortable in taking that shot. And once again, that was a good find coming from his teammate.
23-17 now. AJ Benson just scored by the end of the first. Benson, his second bucket.
Yeah, I like that they give a lot of attacking opportunities for AJ Benson. They do know that for his size, he can play the guard position pretty well. So they give him a lot of attacking opportunities, and so far, that's 4 points already this game para kay AJ Benson.
He has been averaging 6 points per game in 11 minutes of play, the 4 outings that he has suited up for South Cotabato, and he's shooting at a 66% clip.
And it's actually a different position for AJ Benson. For the past teams, he was being played at the 4, even that 5 position. But now they're putting him at that guard position. But in that last play, good defense coming from Pido.
There's the challenge. When you play him as a guard,
Yes.
he will be pressured by another guard.
That's right. And his last name is Pido. We do know that if your last name is Pido here in the MPBL, that is a defensive-minded guard. And once again, that's a good stop coming from JJ.
It's now 23-19. Jonathan Gray. Up top they go to Alabanza. Hand off to Pido against AJ Benson. Pido, foot speed. Pido, basket and 1.
Defense to offense para dito kay JJ Pido. Given that attacking lane on the middle, takes it strong, gets it up top, and was able to finish. See that once again. This time around, he's the one challenging the defense of AJ Benson, but he gets it and finishes strong.
They just got the better of AJ in 2 ends of the floor. Now Benson will sit down. A natural guard in JP or Toto Calvo checks in for the first time. Calvo was the leading scorer in his first couple of games for South Cotabato, but his average has dropped to 8.3 points per outing. Just got the board.
It's going to be a Letran trio para sa South Cotabato. We have Cruz, Calvo, and Aprecu all inside the court. Shout out to the Knights fans that's watching this ball game.
Tris Dumapig, 10 on the shot clock. Dumapig will shoot short. That's stopped away by apparently Biñan.
Watching much slower second quarter. Nakita natin na may adjustments on the defensive end for both squads. You're not seeing as much scoring here to start the second.
Marvin Jonicio. Ooh, that's a walk. Everybody caught that.
Harap na harap ng bench ng Biñan. So
Yeah.
if that was not called, everybody would have been... see that?
Kahit naman si Marvin.
Look at the bench. Oh.
There was a big smile on the face of Marvin Jonicio after that.
He knew it. He knew it.
Kahit yung mga JRU, tatawagin yun against JR or Marvin Jonicio.
Kahit si Coach Louie siguro
Yes.
napareact dun sa galaw na yun.
Oh, that's a steal by Aprecu. Bounce pass to Mark Cruz. And there's the Letran connection.
Good two-man game coming from Aprecu to Mark Cruz. Able to finish in that fast break.
25-21. 3 minutes gone by. Jonathan Gray in trouble. Here's JJ Pido. 12 to work with. Two-man game with Alabanza. Pido escapes again. What a start for JJ.
Just love how aggressive he attacks the lane every time he's given that opportunity. He's a very strong right side attacker. If you give that right side attack, usually he will really take it strong. He got 1 foot ahead of Chris Dumapig. Late help galing dito kay Felix Apreco. Another foul-counted basket for JJ Mito.
Can he actually convert from the lines? Now we take this time to listen in to Megan.
Migs, Coach Boyet Fernandez shares that their team cry for today is just simply defense. They may have worked and surpassed expectations before, but they know they are going up against a tough team and a tough coach. So alam nilang takbuhan ng laro ng South Cotabato, and they know how well they shoot from beyond the arc. So they have to limit that. And while he says yung pagkatalo nila noong last meeting nila ng South Cotabato sa regular season ay parte lang ng laro, they will no longer allow those fast break points and turnovers that they gave before. Migs and Coach Juanito.
Well, the good thing is, defense has been a part of the identity of Biñan all season long. They have allowed the second least points in the league at only 70 per outing.
You know, Coach Boyet Fernandez has always been a defensive coach from all of his teams, from Santa Lucia to NLEX, going over here to the MPBL. And of course, having Coach Gino Manansala and Coach Gino Manuel in that bench, you do know that defense is really of top priority para dito sa Biñan. And you have pieces like Pido, Alabanza, Pingris. It adds on to the veteran experience defensively. Because now KG Canaleta will make his first appearance after how many days, Migs?
1.5 months.
1.5 months. So it's good to see that KG Canaleta is back and healthy. Although he's not yet 100%, but we do know that he will still make an impact para din sa Biñan.
Last time we saw him was August 20. And it's already October 10. 10 araw na lang. 2 buwan na sana para kay KG Canaleta, who's still not at 100%, but he's been training with Biñan for a week now. He's defending Jammer Hamito. With Jammer, back to Larry Rodriguez. On to Mark Cruz, a three-pointer. Yes.
I think they can be able to go back to stretch the floor para dito sa South Cotabato.
First 3 points for Mark Cruz.
A three-pointer number 5 in total para dito sa South Cotabato. So 5 out of their 15 out of 24 points, all coming from 3.
Welcome back, KG Canaleta. And back to his old form.
KG Canaleta is about 6'4", but I think his wingspan is way longer than his height. That's so hard to defend that height up-top shot.
And I'd like to think that that helped out in terms of his dunking abilities as well.
Dunking ability, even his three-point shot is way up top. Let's watch that again. Fake handoff, goes reverse, and then he shoots up top. See, nakadepensa na si Larry Rodriguez and Jammer Hamito on his face, but his hands and his arms are all the way so much higher. So hard to defend itong si KG Canaleta.
It was an average start of the season for KG. First 8 games, 8 points per game. But the last 10 games for him, 18 games in total, in the campaign of KG Canaleta. Last 10 games, 14.5 points per game, including a 30-point outburst versus Rizal, with a game winner, by the way, in Bataan. And then he had 23 in his last game, August 20 versus Nueva Ecija. He was peaking before he left with that toe injury. Hamito is at the line, a 71% free throw shooter. Numbers, 9 points, 7 rebounds. Dumoble rin sa kanyang last 3 outings. You mentioned his great performance versus Quezon. I'd give you a better performance that he had versus Davao. 21 points and 17 rebounds. Those were his season highs for South Cotabato. And he did tell me that this is the best that he has ever felt in his stint in the MPBL with various teams, including Pampanga and San Juan.
Jammer Hamito is still a young guy. This guy can still offer a lot with the physicality, with the size, with the energy he brings in to every ball game. That's why a very important piece pa rin ito si Jammer Hamito entering this playoffs para di South Cotabato.
He trimmed the lead down to 5 points, 30-25. Canaleta looking for Mark Pingris. The pass was a bit too high and too long for even the Pinoy Sakuragi.
Natawa na lang si Mark Pingris because he's been with KG Canaleta for the longest time. So probably if there was one person who would know where to put that basket, well, it's KG. So natawa na lang si Mark on that last pass.
Here's Pingris up top. They give it up onto Pido. Canaleta trying to seal. He has a mismatch. Pido onto Mark Pingris. 3 seconds. Jonathan Gray has to fire. No attempt there. It's a traveling violation.
He was not aware of the time left. Itong si Jonathan Gray. He needed to take that shot. Coach Boyd was shouting at the shot clock remaining. Jonathan Gray was not able to hear it. That's going to be a shot clock violation para sa Biñan.
Over halfway done in the second frame. Mark Cruz onto Jammer Hamito. High-low. Rodriguez challenged by KG. Larry blocked eventually. I'm not sure if that's going to be a block or a steal.
I think that's going to be a steal. I think that was a pass attempt coming from Larry.
And here's Canaleta. A three-pointer. That's a foul. And we did see the awkwardness on KG Canaleta because of that contest.
There's so much respect galing dito kay Larry Rodriguez. He knows that that is a threat even with the hand up top. That's why Larry Rodriguez really tried to challenge, getting the arm of KG Canaleta in that last play.
KG is 9th best in the MPBL and three-point shooting percentage after all at 37%. So again, that's by the average of our three-point king in Orlan Mamar Jr. I will always use him as the reference in the league.
And that is a good reference.
Yes,
Siya
sino
naman
pa ba?
Sino pa ba? That's right.
He's the only guy to repeat as a champion in any of the events in the All-Star Day. Well, bukod na lang kay Jeff Viernes in terms of winning the All-Star Game MVP award. This Coach's Challenge is brought to you by MPBL Party List or the MPBL Party List, ang kaliga ng mamamayang Pilipino.
The challenge of South Cotabato was unsuccessful. Foul of
Challenge
Larry
unsuccessful for Coach Elvis Tolentino. So there was a foul after all called on Larry Rodriguez. He did catch the arm of KG Canaleta, shooting arm pa. Larry could not believe it. After all, he's used to the calls, the physicality of the MPBL as a champion back in Season 2 with San Juan. He was a finalist in Season 3 when they lost to Davao Occidental. Here's KG Canaleta. There you see his averages, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 72% from the line. And yes, it's 3 free throws awarded to him. Have you ever had a toe injury?
No, not on the toe. But
I have.
talaga.
It's
So
painful. He had to wear a boot.
I can't imagine the toe because you rely heavily on the movement, lalo na moving forward. So I don't think you can play really with a toe injury.
And actually, when the adrenaline goes off, ang sakit, tuloy-tuloy, kahit di mo ginagalaw. As now, there's Mark Cruz, who got fouled by KG.
Good to see KG that he's moving way better. Now, saktong-sakto sa playoffs ang paggaling ni KG Canaleta. So, we do expect him to be back in peak form in after a few games.
Oh, we have a timeout before Mark Cruz shoots his gimmies. This is courtesy of Coach Boyet Fernandez. 4 minutes and 15 in the second, 33-25. We have the numbers season-wise for Biñan Tatakchel and South Cotabato. I already mentioned the defense of Biñan, that's second best in the MPBL. Although bench scoring has been impressive for South Cotabato.
You know, third in the total in bench scoring. You do know the depth of South Cotabato. On the other end, defensive ball game. Para dito sa Biñan, you have a defensive coach, you have a defensive anchor in Mark Pingres, you have a lot of defensive guards in Pamboy and JJP. That's why they're number 2 in the league in total for points allowed. So this is going to be a very, very exciting ball game on how they have this game plan on limiting the 3-point shots by South Cotabato here in this game.
Right now, the pace is good for Biñan to Takjel. They allow 70. They've only given up 25 so far. They're 4 minutes away from halftime. And as Mark Cruz shoots, we show his numbers, 8 points per game. He is the 5th leading scorer of South Cotabato, behind Tolentino's 9.3, Hoson's 8.8, Hamito's 8.7, and Calvo's 8.3. I'd like to add Valacuña to the list. 7.8 points per game. That's the top 6 scorers of South Cotabato, all averaging under 10 points.
Yeah, that's the depth nitong South Cotabato. Anyone can step up at any time, and it's also the system. Everybody is allowed to shoot it when they're free from the outside. The problem is who will step up as the star, especially now that Enzo Hoson is out with an injury. You always need that one guy who will take that basketball and say, at the end game, I have to take control. So that's going to be a challenge para sa South Cotabato.
And that includes the loss of Christian Bajarito, their supposed starting all-star, who won the game for them in the regular season versus Biñan. This is Kyle Tolentino, the newest leading scorer of South Cotabato. Up top, he receives it, working with Jammer Hamito. Handoff onto Valacuña. Up top, Jammer for 3. Yes, sir.
Jammer Hamito is the first big to actually make a 3-pointer para dito sa South Cotabato. Jervy and Jammer have been trying the whole ball game, but now finally Jammer is able to stretch the floor for Biñan to eventually close out on the bigs.
6 points now in this game for Jammer Hamito. Canaleta all day. In and out. Rebound Pingris. Ball chased and recovered by Calvo, who was stopped by JJ Pido. That was a blocking foul.
It's a good tap by South Cotabato to eventually go to a red shirt, but that's going to be a problem of the zone. As we see here first, this 3-pointer coming from Jammer Hamito, able to stretch the floor. Ultimately, no closeout coming from Mark Pingris.
And look at the reaction of Jammer Hamito, just pumped up, having a nice stretch for himself.
I think that's a natural reaction. Kapag sumusubok ka at sumusubok and you really struggle, he's 0 out of 2 from that 3-point line. Eventually, you will feel that, I have to make one for me to get going. I think that is the one that can get Jammer Hamito going here in the ballgame.
And he should take pride with his percentage, because in the season, he shot the ball 51% from the field. That's pretty efficient for any guy in the MPBL. Now this is JP Calva at the line after he was fouled by JJ Pido. Calvo able to score, the returning player in our league after his stints with Nabotas and Marikina, and then he proceeded to play in the PBA. It's a zone, right?
They're playing a 2-3 zone right here, so they have to be able to locate the shooters and also box out.
Canaleta inside, Mark Pingris kick out. 6 on the shot clock. Rojo Curva, another kick. That's their best shooter. Just a miss by Manalang.
Good execution. Galing dito sa Biñan, just could not make that wide open 3 by Manalang, but eventually that will go in, so they have to stick with the system.
Calvo is fouled. He stays aggressive for South Cotabato.
That's one part of the game of Calvo that I've always been impressed on. How he controls even after contact. He has such good upper body strength that even with his size, kahit nagkatamaan na at nagkaroon ng physicality, he's still able to control his upper body.
And that's how you would really offset your height. After all, JP Calvo has played in different levels. Mas malalaki pa sa PBA, di ba? Calvo, back with his gimmies. Ooh, a miss for JP.
We're not really going to be used to seeing JP Calvo miss a lot of free throws.
And after converting.
Yes.
Usually, you'd already build your momentum at the line. Converts again. Marvin Jonicio returns for Kyle Tolentino. So let's break down the lineups. Jonicio joins Calvo, Valacuña, Hamito, and Cruz. So it's a tall lineup for them. On the other end for Biñan, we have Mark Pingris, Kenny Rojo Curva, KG Canaleta, Carlo Lastimosa, and Pamboy Raimundo. All day for Carlo as Canaleta asks for a flop.
So far, the zone of South Cotabato is working their way. They're allowing the 3-pointer, but the 3-pointers are not made by Biñan the past few possessions.
Now a chance to get the lead for South Cotabato. Jervy Cruz He will attempt and miss. There's a push, a takedown as well.
It's been a whole ball game, this Pingris versus Hamito matchup. They've been playing physical, but there is respect between these two. But it's just going to be natural that these two will play physical no matter what. You see the box out right here.
Yeah, Jammer's the one called for the push.
A little takedown by Mark Pingris.
Pero kung ikaw si Jammer Hamito, hindi ka rin pwede magalit eh.
Tama.
Wala kang karapatang magalit kay Mark Pingris. Kahit sino ka pa sa buong Pilipinas.
Si Mark Pingris magpapakita lang yan. He's gonna walk away, kunyari may physicality. But when the camera is not there, he's gonna shake the hand of the bigs. So ano rin yan, talagang pakita lang ng physicality. Make an impact on the court. But eventually, Mark Pingris is really friends with everybody here in the MPBL.
Canaleta just missed his first free throw. Here's the second one for KG. Ooh, 2 misses. Napapalakpak na lang itong si KG Canaleta.
It's rare that we're seeing actually the top free throw shooters miss for both of their teams. So pati tayo nagugulat sa mga mintes.
Only human after all. Marvin Janicio for the lead. No good. Rebound KG. Kurva streaking through. Too strong. Rebound Mark Pingris. KG up top to Pomboy. His three is good.
That is the third three-pointer from Pamboy Raimundo. Even with a man up front, he got that rhythm. He got a little space and he was able to take that three. You see that swing pass coming from KG Canaleta. That was way above the middle, but Pamboy Raimundo, no problem making that three.
Now he's 3 points away from matching his average in the last 6 games. It has been hot for Biñan Tatakja. This timeout is brought to you by the MPBL Party List, ang kaliga ng mamamayang Pilipino. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. As we come back to you live from the Batangas City Coliseum, our VIPs are present. Isa-isahin natin. Paulo Ramos, Kenneth Duremdes, Joe Ramos, Rudy Distrito, and Emer Oreta. There you see them once again. Looking good as we wrap up the game ones of the quarterfinal series, both in the North and the South. So far, we've seen upsets in the 4th and 5th seeds with wins for Parañaque and Caloocan. South Cotabato looking to get the lead again, but now they're down by 4. Last time they led was 2-0. Calvo operating up top. He misfires. Rebound Canaleta. And here's Pamboy. No outlet. Lastimosa, the drive in the feed. KG, a comfortable looking three-pointer.
You just know that when that shoulder makes that movement, it's gonna be a make. Para dito kay KG Canaleta, you really have to close out strong on KG on that three-point line.
He has 8 points on his return. As if he wasn't gone after all. Dumapig shoots in and out. Rebound KG. Kurva, nice cut, nice feed, but there's the rejection by South Cotabato. They have numbers.
Carlos Lastimosa feels that there was some push on that fast break, but no whistle will be called.
He's all alone on the other end.
Oh, he got hit on the head. He's pointing to his face. There's a stoppage.
He's not bleeding.
He is a little shaken up.
Calvo there to help him up. Good sportsmanship between the two veterans. Oh yes, there is blood.
Oh, there you go.
Small cut. The left side of the face of Carlo Lastimosa.
Let's watch that again off that fast break. Who was the one who got the hit?
It was Marvin Junicio.
Accidental. It's accidental coming from Marvin Junicio. Tried to challenge up top. Tumama ng konti yung siko ni Marvin.
But now they will, of course, they wouldn't be happy with that no call.
Yes.
We'll take a break with this timeout. This assist of the game is brought to you by the MPBL Party List, ang Kaliga ng Mamamayang Pilipino. It's Carlo Lastimosa locating KG Canaleta, top of the key. Again, with a lot of time, a lot of space. Tanggap pa lang, alam mo na.
Very scary lineup. Every time that Federico Curva and Lastimosa is inside the court, those are two terrific slashers. Para dito sa Biñan, who eventually can create for his teammates. Perfect guy to receive is KG Canaleta.
Well, KG does lead them in three-point shooting percentage on a volume scale at that. That's a reminder that every time we give you statistics in terms of top shooters, field goals, 3 points, and free throws, volume po yan. Lastimosa able to continue after he got bloodied up for a bit with a small cut right by his left eye. Wala naman ding nilagay. There's no bondage. So not much cause for worry. 8 seconds before halftime. Carlo down to 4 seconds. Lastimosa short. Offensive rebound. That's tapped away by Calvo, and that's going to do it for our first half of action.
Biñan able to execute better here in the first half, able to make some stops as well against South Cotabato. Up 7 right now, and so far things are looking well para dito sa Biñan.
This is good pace in terms of their defense. Even better than their 70 points allowed in terms of pace. This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX.
Still here at the half of our first game for this evening at kasama ko ngayon ang team manager ng Biñan, Mr. Jojo Cunanan, and team player for South Cotabato, Mike Sorella. Simula po tayo sa iyo, Sir Jojo. So alam naman natin na first playoffs appearance ng Biñan, pero can you talk about the veteran moves na talagang ipinapakita nila ngayon?
Oh, yun na nga, no, first ng Biñan ngayon sa playoffs. Sobrang intense yung laban. So, yun lang, dapat tuloy-tuloy lang yung intensity nila sa loob ng court, yung pagiging leadership nila sa court. And wag lang silang bumitaw hanggang dulo. Kaya namin to.
Alam naman natin, South Cotabato, very persistent, always chipping away at your lead. Ano yung kailangan ninyong gawin sa second half to really be able to pull away?
Ayun, no, kailangan namin labanan yung mga physicality ng South Cotabato kasi kita nyo naman sa game, sobrang physical yung game. So, kailangan hindi sumuko yung mga players namin. So, tuloy-tuloy lang yung yung good defense nila ngayon. Kaya namin.
Do you have any shoutouts or greetings?
Unang-una, thank you sa MPBL, kay San Manny Pacquiao, and sa Biñan. Sa tuloy-tuloy na suporta sa amin ni Vice Jelalonte, ni Boss Monching Dalisayo na nanonood ngayon na hindi siya nakapunta dito. And sa Beast Motorcycle, kay Boss Rubenta. And sa GameX Sports, kay Lamam Rina, MSC, FCI Clothing, kay Alex, and sa baby ko, tsaka yung sa wife ko. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Punta man tayo kay Sir Mike. Mike, now we know of the Warriors' legacy. Alam natin na ang Gensan sanayan sa playoffs. But can you talk more about that legacy and what it means, especially for this season?
It means a lot to us kasi past years we've been here before, and then kailangan namin mas diinan pa yung playoffs para umabot kami dun sa division finals. Hopefully, hanggang sa finals, which is yun talaga yung goal namin.
So alam naman natin, talagang humahabol ang South Cotabato, pero ano yung kulang na ingredient to really help you take the lead here in the second half?
Siguro more team defense and better offense para masustain namin, and sana makuha namin tong panalong ito.
Any shoutouts or greetings?
Gusto namin pasasalamatan yung mga sponsors namin, especially kay Governor Rinaldo Tamayo sa South Cotabato, and sa RCS Sportswear, Jinky Skin, and Armor On, tsaka sa lahat ng mga taga South Cotabato dyan na nanonood ngayon. Maraming salamat sa iyong suporta. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan. And syempre, babatiin ko rin yung aking asawa, si Paula, tsaka yung anak ko, si Benice. And especially sa MPBL party list. And ayun, family ko sa Taytay Rizal. And sa butihin naming Vice Mayor dyan sa Taytay Rizal, si Pia Cabral. And sa lahat ng mga taga-Taytay, mabuhay kayo mga Taytayenyos.
Thank you so much. Best of luck to both of our teams. More action when we return for the second half.
Our halftime score is 39-32 in favor of Biñan over South Cotabato. The Warriors actually scored the first 2 points in this game, but ever since, it's been Biñan Tatakgel who actually led by as many as 8 points, but they have led for 17 minutes.
Yes, it's been a very good first half at Biñan, especially offensively. You see here the numbers, 44% on their field goal, very efficient. They've also been attacking very hard, 16 inside points alongside the 4 3-pointers they have made. South Cotabato has been trying to knock on the door of Biñan. Their 3-pointers have been efficient here in this ball game, but after the 3-pointers, it's been a struggle on the other aspects para dito sa South Cotabato.
I only had one question to one of the leaders of South Cotabato in Mark Cruz. Why can't you get the lead? And he said, we haven't been pressuring enough, resulting onto these comfortable-looking threes from Pamboy Raimundo, who had 3 in the first half. KG Canaleta, we even described his lone 3-pointer as such a comfortable-looking shot from top of the key. And so let's see if that would actually improve for South Cotabato in the third quarter. There's the comfortable 3 by KG. We have an interesting lineup. AJ Benson is here, Nico Elorde, Felix Apreco, couple of pressure defenders for the Warriors.
Going a little length itong South Cotabato to start here.
They're joined by Hamito and Tolentino as Jammer scores.
Exactly how you want to start for you to be able to mount a comeback. Jammer Hamito scoring off that mid-range, and right now, right away, they are going to pressure on the side of Biñan.
Full court man-to-man. Elorde matched up against Pamboy Raimundo. We do thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Juanito Gregorio and Megan Cabrera as we come back to you live from the Batangas City Coliseum. Later on, the Rum Masters will defend their home court against Davao as there's a foul called on AJ Benson. Yes, you'd want to pressure, but no, you don't want to foul.
Over the denial, galing dito kay AJ Benson, not allowing movement on the side of Lastimosa.
Easier said than done though, because we do have a couple of great offensive players for Biñan. And AJ's trying to cover Lastimosa. Here's another tough cover in Roca Curva.
Really a speed advantage on Roca Curva against Jammer Hamito. He was able to recognize that right away. Natake agad ni Roca Curva ang kanyang speed advantage.
Tolentino. Screen by Apreco. A lot of time here for South Cotabato. 10 on the shot clock. Benson matched up against Lastimosa. AJ trying to make a move. Step back, a 3-pointer. No good.
Not a lot of options on that possession para dito sa South Cotabato. One-on-one play by AJ Benson will not end this in success.
Gimpayan on the pick and roll. Nice play by Pamboy.
A terrific two-man game between Pamboy Raimundo and Jmar Gimpayan. First option was available, giving that roll right away. Jmar Gimpayan ending with the floater.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. Let's see the numbers of Jmar Gimpayan. That was his first field goal. And there's his first free throw conversion. We have 2 men down in Pingris and Apreco. And again, Pingris ready to let it go. No need for anything extra.
You know, Felix Apreco is also a very, very physical player. So Pingris doesn't want anything dirty. Pisikalan lang kung pisikalan, everything basketball related for the Pinoy Sakuragi.
That's how Jammer Hamito described being matched up to Mark Pingris to me at halftime. Sabi niya, yes, there's that physicality, but there's nothing too emotional about it. There is respect between the two of them, and I'm sure that will translate onto Felix Apreco. Inamin sa akin ni Jammer na, yes, may onting hiya. Pero kasi hindi na pwedeng ganun eh. Kailangan natin tanggapin na MPBL player na si Mark Pingris.
And it's the playoffs, man. Malaki na ang pinaglalaban. It's a playoffs. So hindi na pwedeng mahiya si Jammer here in this point.
Here he is. Unconscious. His second jumper in the third.
He's showing Mark Pingris that you have to close out on my mid-range shot. That's back-to-back mid-range jumpers on the pick and pop para dito kay Jammer Hamito.
44-36 is the tally. This is coming off of the biggest lead by Biñan. Jmar Gimpayan trying to spin. That's another nice matchup, by the way, as a travel is called on Jmar against the defense of Felix Apreco.
That might be a turnover, but I like the space being brought out by Biñan, giving a lot of attacking opportunities, but that was just better defense being played by Felix Apreco on that last play.
Those two actually shared the same role of just being rebounders for their teams initially, but then it has dominoed onto many other aspects in terms of positives in their games. Lastimosa. Pingris ceiling against Hamito. Pingris again staying patient onto his cutter, and Pamboy was fouled by Nico Elorde.
A little post-action para dito kay Mark Pingris, looking for the cutters. In that last play, there was at least 3 cutters para sa Biñan.
And that has been his game all season long. Pingris has averaged 4 assists per outing.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Raimundo inside to Mark. Will he shoot this time? He only has 1 field goal attempt in this game. There you go. He was just blocked.
That was good timing by Jammer Hamito. He knew that Mark was going to go for that hook shot.
Catch and shoot for Valacuna. No go. Ball out of bounds. Biñan continuing to control the pace. Right now, South Cotabato is way far from the allowed points of Biñan in each outing, as they are the 2nd best defensive team in the league. Nakakurva in trouble. Ball tapped away, going to Emer Oreta, our head of basketball operations, and Hamito wants a challenge. As the referee ruled it Biñan's ball, but there's no more challenge anymore for South Cotabato. He had an unsuccessful one in the first half.
Jammer Hamito pretty sure that the ball should go their side. And liking the pressure being set out by South Cotabato, they're pressuring up top. So mabagal ang opensa. Only 12 seconds left and still no execution para sa Biñan.
Almost a steal. Pingris able to recover. 9 on the shot clock. Mark Pingris to Kenny Rocakurva. The drive and yet another foul.
That first step of Kenny Rocakurva is just so hard to defend. Once again, fishing for a foul in that last play.
Now let's fish for a good report. Some good stories here from Megan Cabrera.
Migs and Coach Juanito, kasama ko ngayon 2 very special supporters ng Biñan. We have John Renz Jacob or si Boss Jonah and Sir Harms Hui or Mr. Longbomb. Simula tayo sa'yo, Boss Jonah. Alam natin, solid Biñan supporters kayo. Sa tingin nyo, ano yung X-factor ng Biñan ngayon at anong kailangan nilang gawin para makuha tong larong to?
Gawin lang nila yung best nila, yung sa mga practice yon. Alam na nila yan, magagaling yung mga yun. Basta Biñan, no? Siyempre, shoutout nga siyempre kay Boss Monching, kay Mayor Jel Alonte, at siyempre si MPBL at dito sa Batangas. Mananalo yung Biñan.
Solid Biñan talaga. Dito naman tayo kay Sir Harms Hui, si Mr. Longbomb. Kayo naman, alam natin, South Cotabato babawi yan sa second half. So, para sa inyo, ano ang kailangan gawin ng Biñan?
Sa tingin ko naman po, nakukulangan lang po sila sa mga long bomb shot doon sa labas. Wala po kasi tumitira. Siguro po, baka it's about time, kailangan tumira na po sila sa labas para po makapag lumayo po na po yung lead nila. Pero as of now, leading po sila ngayon. So, tuloy-tuloy na po yan hanggang sa panalo na po. Yan.
Thank you so much from our 2 supporters, and we hope to hear from more supporters. Migs and Coach Juanito.
Man, what an interview. Shout out to Mr. Long Bomb, who wants to see more long bombs in this game. And so, we shall see if we're going to see more 3-pointers, maybe even from way off. Or
There's already 4 galing dito sa Biñan, pero nakukulangan pa rin si Mr. Longbomb sa mga tinitira nitong Biñan.
Hindi ko alam kung hinahanap niya ba ay yung malalayo talaga, yung tipong parang 4 points na. As now it's Valacuna who just scored for South Cotabato. At saka minsan lang tayo magka-fan na may nickname.
Yes.
Big shout out to him. This is Mark Pingris up top to Pamboy. Oh, there's a charge.
Obvious push off ball. Galing dito kay Carol Lastimosa. Medyo hinabol si Nico Elorde in that last play. Has to be careful here.
Okay na long bump na sana para kay Pamboy. So charge. And so Nico Elorde will bring down the ball. They're down by 9 in the third. We've seen 9 total 3 so far in this game. 5 from South Cotabato and 4 from Biñan. A mismatch for Nico Elorde. Pushed off his defender. Pass was a bit too wide for Jammer Hamito.
It's a good intention, just a bad angle galing dito kay Nico Elorde. Jammer was open for that drop pass, but Nico Elorde was able to give it a little too deep on that last play.
So we're back Biñan's way. Here's Bamboy against Kyle Tolentino. Pingris. He backs down. Mark Pingris. Still no good. And he continues to be animated. Free throws will be given.
You know, each and every possession, I'm just excited to watch Mark Pingris versus Jammer Hamito. This has been a very exciting physical matchup down low. Either on the defensive end or the rebounding end. It's been very exciting down low. But Coach Elvis deciding medyo kailangan ko munang ipahinga. So they'll be putting in Chris Dumapig, adding on the physicality against Mark Pingris here in this game.
First free throw is good for Mark Pingris, his first of the night. He's 0 out of 2 from the field, which makes that his first point. He has 6 rebounds and 1 assist in 16 minutes of play.
Always a complete package every time he plays for Biñan. So once again, providing a lot of numbers for Biñan here in this game.
48-38, 5 minutes and 15 in the third. Elorde bounces it off to Dumapig. Hand off to Valacuna, the usual setup, and the make.
You know, I was just about to say that one option I'm not seeing from South Cotabato is creating for Valacuna, and right away they were able to create, they were able to make right away. Valacuna can really stretch out the floor for South Cotabato, so that is an option. They have to find a lot more here to the rest of the second half.
That's the third three-pointer of Acuna out of 7 tries. He's up to double figures, the second one to reach those markers alongside Jammer Hamito. Good spin on that basketball. For the former finals MVP. We did not have a season MVP in our inaugural campaign. That's why we consider him as the first MVP. There's Valacuna. Lastimosa converting on his first free throw. There hasn't been a shortage of fouls as well in the second half.
This is something that South Cotabato has to be careful. They're playing for court pressure. So there will be a lot of physicality. And now that in the penalty in the first 5 minutes of the second half, they might have to lessen down on the physicality defensively para mas mabawasan ng free throws para dito sa Biñan.
We saw 8 fouls from South Cotabato in the first 2 quarters. 7 already here in this third frame. Bounce pass by Acuna onto the wrong guy. Lastimosa's on the move. That's tapped away, but there's a foul again.
And once again. The 8th foul of South Cotabato here in this quarter. You were talking to Nico Elorde where you heard that they were really going to press up a lot here in the second quarter, but so far it has not been working on their side because of a lot of pushes and a lot of physicality being played by South Cotabato.
First one was a miss for Carlo Lastimosa. Let's see the foul. It's by Tolentino. There's the tap by Marvin. That's why he could not believe the call.
Yes. But wala nang challenge itong South Cotabato, so something they cannot ask for.
Lastimosa able to convert. He has 11 points now in this game. He's the third guy in double figures alongside Raimundo and Rocakurva for Biñan. And we've seen 13 made free throws for Tatakjel out of 20 tries. It's good for 65%. Dumapig, almost a double dribble there. That's what Biñan is fighting for. And now a block by Mark Pingris.
Earlier we saw that really worked on the side of Chris Dumapig, but now Mark Pingris reading every movement perfectly, getting that beautiful block against Chris Dumapig.
That would be the first rejection of the Pinoy Sakuragi in this game. Well, this is a man who's gone up against bigger, taller players in the world stage of basketball. So timing shouldn't be a big problem here for Mark against Mr. Chris Dumapig.
Against any other team, you could have seen a highlight para Chris Dumapig, but against Mark Pingris, it's the other way around. Mark Pingris getting that block highlight against Chris.
And another foul on the other end as Rocakurva is now at the line. First one is good for Kenny. 66% free throw shooting now for Biñan at 14 out of 21. And their lead is back up to 11. The biggest at, yes, 11. So tabla na po. This could be it. There you go, a dozen now for Biñan Tatakjel. So Munching Dalisayan should be very happy about this as JR Labanza returns to the game. Mark Pingris will get a well-deserved breather. This is only his 10th game this season for Biñan.
This is going to be very good para sa Biñan because he could go back in the fourth quarter with fresh legs. Itong si Mark Pingris, they are maintaining this lead right here with KG Canaleta on the bench. But Valacuña wants a different answer, getting his fourth three-pointer of the ball game. 14
points now in this game for Valacuña. That makes him the leading scorer in the entire matchup. 53-44. Rojo-Curva. The mismatch, he's left wide open. That's a practice three.
It's too easy. They were challenging Kenny Rojo-Curva to take that three. Baka lang mas gumana na sa labas nila patirahin si Kenny, but Kenny just too skilled getting that three in that last play.
That was long bomb number 5 for Biñan against the 7 of South Cotabato, 4 coming from Valacuña, who was just fouled from downtown.
So much respect coming from the side of Biñan on the three-pointer of Valacuña.
That was a nice scene. Coach Gino Manansala and JJ Pito looking at the replay to see as to whether or not it was actually a foul. This three-pointer is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Here's the three, the long bomb by Kenny Rojo-Curva. Hindi mo nga nakita si Chris Dumapig sa replay.
Yes.
He was that far off. And now we have a challenge off of that review by Coach Gino. You could see him really focusing on his cell phone just to make sure that they saw it right. This coach's challenge is brought to you by the MPBL Party List, ang Kaliga ng Mamamayang Pilipino.
The challenge of Biñan Tatakjel was successful, resulting in a jump ball.
Coach Gino was right, and there you see the fist bump that he got from Coach Boyd Fernandez. So it wasn't a foul after all. There you go. It might have been Dumapig who hit Valacuña.
Yes. So medyo malayo nga, but there was physicality, but it's also coming from a red shirt. So that's a good challenge. Now the ball will go back para dito sa Biñan. Chance for them to extend further into the lead.
This is their biggest at 56-44. Kenny Rojo-Curva, by the way, is now the newest leading scorer with 15. Pamboy misfiring, and there's a foul by Jmar Gimpayan.
That dribble off the right para dito kay Pamboy is so deadly. You really have to fight over or show heart on that three-pointer by Pamboy Raimundo because he is averaging a really good percentage on that one dribble pull-up off the three. They have to be very careful on Pamboy.
KG Canaleta returns, replacing Gimpayan. KG in the first half scored 8 points in 6.5 minutes of play. Very efficient on his return after 1.5 months. Mark Cruz, nice play, just baiting the defense of KG.
Knew that he had that speed advantage against KG Canaleta. Wanted that one-on-one. He'll get 2 free throws off that challenge.
He went under. And when you go under, there's that risk that you would hit the defender as you go up. And that's what happened. Canaleta helping up the veteran of South Cotabato. Let's see the replay.
It's an up and under move. Ayun, sumabit ang left hand ni KG Canaleta. I don't think it was anything intentional. It was really the rhythm of KG moving forward. It's really a normal foul of KG.
Actually, bumaba pa yung left hand niya at the last second. So he did not argue anymore. Mark Cruz will proceed to the line. He's 1 out of 2 from the line so far. But in terms of free throw shooting all season long, Mark Cruz is 3rd for South Cotabato behind Valacunya's 85% and Jervy Cruz's 86%. Mark is also at 85%, but it's a matter of the decimal, which is the difference between him and Valacunya. 56-46. Canaleta against Aprecu. Bounce pass, almost a steal. Cruz trying to shut down Pamboy. Now he goes left. Raimundo up top to KG. Shot clock at 7. Roja Curva, the leading scorer of this game, attacking. Reverse for Kenny.
Quick first step, Kenny Roca Curva, just too quick for any defender. Strong attack to the right, late help, reverse layup para kay Kenny.
17 points, 5 out of 7 from 2-point area. And he's perfect from 3-point area. Great efficiency for Kenny Rojo Curva as Dionisio answers back on the other end. And a steal by Larry. They go to Valacunya at the corner. This is big. An air ball, Apreco on the recovery.
Always will be there for the offensive board. Felix Apreco at the right place at the right time. But more importantly, he cuts the lead to single digits here in the third quarter.
Could this be it? The run that South Cotabato has been looking for. Jonathan Gray trying to stabilize things. Canaleta. Backdoor for Pamboy. Up top to KG. Catch and shoot. Short. Rebound, South Cotabato.
That's how you play defense on KG Canaleta. There should be a man in front.
Here's Mark Cruz using the screen. Ball tapped away. Kyle Tolentino will now return for Valacunya. JJ Pido will return for Biñan, replacing Pamboy Raimundo. Pido was big time in the first half for Tatak Gel. He had 5 points in 7.5 minutes of play, but his defense was felt as well by the Warriors.
He had 1 steal in that quarter, and he had 5 points, 2 foul counted with that strong attack.
A miss by Apreco. Rebound, Alabanza, forward to Kenny. Rojo Curva will streak through. Kenny will fly. Sorry, miss.
No, even
Such
I got
a joy to watch.
That was called a one-step layup. I remember the European coaches teaching us that one-step layup where you want to surprise the defenders on that layup. Pero may onting action with Pido and Cruz right after.
Coach Boyd Fernandez really upset about JJ Pido. And that's why he just called upon Bam Lopez.
I think he had specific instructions para dito kay JJ Pido. At ayan, medyo lumamig na ang ulan.
Binawi na.
Sometimes madadala ng emosyon. Sorry.
I wonder what that convo was about with the member of our staff at the sideline.
Knowing Coach Boyd, I know that he does really give specific instructions, especially defensively, to his guards. So I think he might be just a little disappointed kay Pido na may hindi sinunod. But he does know how important Pido is inside the court. So medyo nadala lang na emosyon.
I don't know what to feel though for Bam Lopez. Kasi moment niya na yun eh. Papasok na sana siya for the first time in this game at binawi.
Medyo atras na naman yung pawis ni Bam Lopez.
Pido goes to his head coach and we have a review ongoing. And we'll take this time to greet a very special person. Happy viewing and happy birthday to Miss. How do you pronounce this? Okay, it's a very special pronunciation. I had to confirm from our floor director, Ton here. Happy birthday to Miss Kolun. Yan, ayun po ating pabate for the first game. And there's JJ Pido making peace with his head coach.
Okay na tayo, coach. Laro pa rin ako, coach, ha? Ganun lang yun, eh, coach. Laro pa rin ako. Dito pa rin ako, ha?
You want to talk about animation? Good vibes in the MPBL. Sa kanya talaga magagaling yan. Let's see what happened.
So he might not, Coach Boyd might not like either the flop or the overextension of the left arm.
Well, it's free throws for Mark Cruz. The first one is good. He's now 4 out of 5 from the stripe. 7 points for the Ant-Man. That trims the lead down to 7. This is already progress for them.
Yes. Slow but sure progress para dito sa South Cotabato. They're doing it via the line, via sure shots. So their system is working so far. Very slow and physical third quarter we're having.
Here's Pido. Screen by KG Canaleta. Pido, pambawi. Yes!
And that is why you need JJ Pido inside the court. He really can attack, especially that he has that size advantage against Mark Cruz.
Now there's a foul by Alabanza. More free throws. Both teams are in the penalty. That's basically the story of scoring for Mark Cruz tonight. And here's JJ Pido, finding himself free down the middle.
Really good short hesitation para dito kay JJ Pido to actually get the defense go back to their spots, and he saw that there was one more dribble available, getting that attack and that finish. 7 points para dito kay JJ Pido.
On the other end, Mark Cruz is now nearing double figures. Could be the third guy to reach that mark for South Cotabato. That free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. (60-54), 45 seconds before the end of the third. Canaleta up top. They go to Kenny. Roca Curva down the middle. Roca Curva, what a pass onto JR Alabanza.
You see the respect they have for Ken Roca Curva. Two red shirts challenging that attempt, and Ken Roca Curva finding that drop pass to JR Alabanza.
A foul on the other end called on JJ Pido, who could not believe it. Now it's Coach Boyd pushing him back onto the court, trying to calm him down.
Nagsumbong sa tatay agad itong si JJ Pido. Dad, wala akong ginawa.
This assist is brought to you by the MPBL party list, ang Kaliga ng Mamamayang Pilipino, Kenny Roca Curva, with such a beautiful dime. That was his second in this game. And the first 2 points for JR Alabanza.
We talk about how much talent there is on Biñan, how much scoring prowess they have. But one thing that they have is that a lot of guys can really create for their teammates. Pamboy is known, Mark Pingrich is averaging 4 assists a game, and even Ken Roca Curva can create for his teammates. So this is a team with a lot of guys willing to give up that ball for a better shot. Ken Roca Curva with a beautiful assist.
Pido will now take a breather. Bam Lopez is finally in.
Finally getting his burn here. Itong si Bam Lopez.
5-second differential, and there's a blocking foul, which means more free throws in the third quarter. It's been no less of a physical frame for our squad. So that will be foul number 34 in total in this game. We saw a total of 17 fouls by halftime. So na doble in just one quarter.
That's why we've been having a very slow third quarter. A lot of free throws on both of the sides. 17 fouls in total here in the third quarter.
Coach Elvis Tolentino not happy about it, obviously. As you can see, our free throws already piling up. Total of 38 in this game. But at least the percentages are not that bad.
Yes. That's why both coaches are mad that they're fouling. Because mataas ang percentage ng parehas na team. So every time that they go to the line, more than likely, it ends in a 2 of 2. So you really want to be able to stop fouling and don't give free chances on the other team.
2 conversions for the homegrown of Biñan Tatak Gel. Now it's JP Calvo returning for duty. In limited minutes in this game for JP. Only 8 minutes of play in the first half, and this would be his first appearance in the second.
I haven't seen a lot of JP Calvo on the side of South Cotabato.
Quite ironic. We thought that he was going to get the minutes of Enzo Hoson.
Last shot time para dito kay Mark Cruz.
9 seconds. Mark Cruz continuing to be aggressive. Calvo thought about it. 4 seconds. JP escapes. He misses. Rebound Apreco. And here's the putback. Conversion for Felix Apreco.
Terrific energy to end the quarter by Felix Apreco. That was a 50-50 ball up top. A lot of white shirts, but it's the red shirt who will get that offensive rebound to cut the lead to 6. Entering the fourth quarter.
This rebound of the game is brought to you by the MPBL party list, ang Kaliga ng Mamamayang Pilipino. That is what Felix Apreco has been known for in the history of the MPBL. Same goes for Jmar Gimpayan. If there would be a short list, I would put them in that list alongside, of course, the likes of Mark Yee, Don Reverente, among others. The highlights, or these highlights of the game, are brought to you by SIP Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. It was such a fantastic third quarter in terms of the physicality, two teams not backing out. We did see the pressure from the get-go, as told to us that was the game plan for Mark Cruz and company. But the problem is they're still down by 6 points after 3. It is 64-58. This fan of the game is brought to you by Jinky Skin. So now we're getting a fan from the South Cotabato side behind the bench. Great to have her inside the Batangas City Coliseum. This is our first game of our MPBL doubleheader. Later on, the Rum Masters will defend their home court against the Davao Occidental Tigers in our Battle of Champions for the quarterfinals of the South Division. Right now it's Jer Alabanza and the rest of Biñan with a 6-point advantage against South Cotabato. They're doing this in front of our VIPs. We have Emer Oreta, Kenneth Duremdes, Rudy Distrito, Joe Ramos, and that's Seth Zamora present at the sideline as well. This makes comments with Juanito Gregorio and Megan Cabrera reporting for duty. Apreco, almost back-to-back putbacks for him. Here we have our quarter scoring.
High scoring third quarter because of the free throws by both teams. There was 17 fouls in total we saw in that quarter. Biñan with 8 and South Cotabato with 9. That's why we had a very high scoring third quarter. Felix Apreco starting once again with free throws here in the fourth.
This is such a great game for Felix. 6 points, 6 assists, 12 minutes of play. He averages only 8 minutes of play per outing.
You know, it's not all the time that we see Felix Apreco actually going for shots. He only averages 1.5 points a ball game. But here today, he knows that after the offensive rebound, he has to put that ball right away up top. That's why he has 4 points from the second chance points.
Ito pong ating third quarter free throw story. 21 in total. 0 misses for South Cotabato. Credit Mark Cruz for a lot of those. While it's good percentage as well for Coach Boyet's squad. They're up by 6. They led by as many as 12.
There will be a substitution right here. You have to challenge the rebounding of Felix Apreco with another rebounder. Jmar Gimpayan now entering the court para dito sa Biñan.
Well, there was an early whistle blown by one of our referees who was working the baseline.
Technical foul on Biñan Tatangel. Number 9, KG Canaleta, for using profane language.
Oh, there you go. Apreco actually was quick to ask for a tech. He might have heard what KG said. That's another part of the discipline among MPBL players. You can't say anything profane to our officials.
Especially in a high-stake ball game right here. Mas magiging stricto ang ating mga officials.
Ooh, that was the first miss of Mark Cruz after a while. He was perfect in the third frame. He's now 9 out of 11 in this game. Let me do the math here. I'm still doing the math.
The engineering in you will be challenged, Migs.
Yeah, he shot all of the free throws of South Cotabato in the third. As per my math.
Yes.
Unless there's something wrong with our stats. As now it's Daddy Rodriguez inside, able to score.
That was an emergency pass galing dito kay Mark Cruz. His one-on-one against Jmar Gimpayan will not get him open. Force it to Larry Rodriguez, but he was able to get that hook shot.
Jonathan Gray double team, that's tapped away. And now we can really feel the energy from the South Cotabato side.
That pressure of South Cotabato did not work early on in the third quarter. Actually, Biñan was able to extend the lead all the way up to 13 points. But now, they trusted the system. They were able to execute a lot more options on their offense. And now the lead is only down to 4 para dito sa South Cotabato.
Pamboy Raimundo will look to stabilize things once more for Biñan to attack gel. Baseline inbound. Here's Mike Maestre. Good denial by JP Calvo against Pamboy. 7 on the shot clock. No backdoor. Up top they go. Pamboy to his roller. Maestre will score.
And that's how you want to execute your offense. Have a lot of options that are moving. Off that quick double on the screen, Mike Maestre was open on the middle.
4 points now in this game for Mike Maestre. His first 2 in the second half. Rodriguez short on his 3, and Apreco got the board. He goes to his cutter. Larry, one more feed. Mark Cruz, 2 points.
Quick ball rotation down low. Mark Cruz will be open on that right corner. Cutting the lead once again to 4.
Gimpayan attacking the D of Larry. That's a charge.
That's a good call. That's a good call. Jmar Gimpayan straight attacking Larry Rodriguez, who stood by that middle part. Overextension of the shoulder charge on the side of Biñan.
Coach Boyet will not challenge. This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. The pass at the last second by Larry Rodriguez on the Mark Cruz. Now has 14 markers, tied as the leading scorer of South Cotabato, alongside Val Acuña, who's about to check back in. Mark Pingris will also return to play, having replaced Jmar Gimpayan.
Jmar Gimpayan here in this ball game, getting that's gonna be the third foul in Jmar Gimpayan with alongside 3 points.
Make it 4 now for Jmar.
4 already para dito Jmar.
Calvo using the screen. Bounce pass, Larry, face up, jumper, short. Biñan still up by 4. They've led since midway through the first frame. Pingris going to Robbie Manalang. Robbie back to his center. Mark Pingris, signature floater.
That's how you want your guards to facilitate your offense. Both Pamboy and Robbie Manalang able to use that screen very well, eventually going for the rollers. 4 straight points off the same play para dito sa Biñan.
That's the first field goal of Mark Pingris in this matchup. That's 3 points in total. 8 on the shot clock. Rodriguez, kick out. Marvin fakes. Jonicio feeds. Acuña from the corner. That was short. And a foul by Larry.
Good patience by Marvin Jonicio. He was able to attract 4 defenders to leave Val Acuña wide open on the corner. But Val Acuña just not able to make that wide open 3.
He's now 4 out of 10 from downtown. Let's take a look at that 2-man game by Big Shot Rob and the Pinoy Sakuragi. It's by that area where he finds a lot of comfort shooting with one hand. Pingris hasn't scored much this season, but his impact has been well felt by Biñan. Robbie Manalang fouled by Mark Cruz.
Team foul number 2 para di South Cotabato. On the other end, Biñan is already in penalty. So that's something they have to be careful on.
Mark Cruz will sit down. Nico Elorde, known for his pressure defense, will return as he matches up with Robbie Manalang. Maestre will inbound. The man-to-man continues. Mike looking for a teammate. They go to Jonathan Gray against Val Acuña. 2 very tall, small forwards. Gray going right, the 1-2, and the miss. Rebound Acuña. South Cotabato going forward. Hamito, short.
That was a good trail run by Jammer Hamito on the middle. Medyo nagkulang lang sa kanyang tapon. So that's gonna go back on the side of Biñan.
Still is a 6-point game. Raimundo, step back 3. No good. Rebound Calvo. Good tap by Nico. Forward to Jammer. Pambawi. Hamito. Finally.
Same play, different result. Jammer Hamito once again running that middle lane to be able to leak out early on their offense. Don't look now. There's only a 4-point lead para sa Biñan.
But it's this hump that South Cotabato hasn't gotten over, when the lead has been cut down to 4 because of things like that. Mike Maestre finding another opportunity to score, and he will have to do so from the line.
The two-man game has been working perfectly para dito sa Biñan. Once again, getting a foul is Mike Maestre.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max, Jammer Hamito. Kinabahan pa tayong lahat kung papasok ba talaga yun para sa kanya.
Actually, medyo baligtad pa nga yung pectus ni Jammer Hamito. Good thing there was a lucky bounce to get that ball inside.
You don't want to miss 2 gimmies in a row if you're Jammer. And speaking of gimmies, it's free throws for Mike Maestre. First one is good for the longtime big man of Coach Boyet Fernandez. And now we go for a report coming from Megan Cabrera.
Migs, there were all sorts of emotions on the South Cotabato side, from frustration to being the happiest and proudest of their team. But this also helped to activate their bench in terms of really cheering to boost their 5 on the floor. Well, their 4th quarter actually started about 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter because they wanted to get that last shot to set the tone for the last 10 minutes. And overall, it was just a positive and collaborative huddle for the Warriors to fix all those small details, all those small kinks in this final push. Migs and Coach Juanito.
And that's why we continue to see Felix Apreco play for South Cotabato, because he was the one who was able to convert in the last possession of the 3rd frame. Now it's Jammer Hamito got fouled in the interior.
Different game plan on the side of South Cotabato. They're putting 4 wings. They're putting 4 guys off the outside to actually extend that offense. So medyo ibang style naman para dito kay Coach Elvis to try and get some threes going on the side of South Cotabato. But still, the penalty will go the side of SCW as 2 free throws para dito kay Jammer.
First one was good. Jammer is now 2 out of 3 from the stripe. He has 13 points to his name. And to your point about them playing small ball, isn't this one of the benefits of having Marvin Jonicio in your roster? He played the 4 for Marikina.
One guy who is very versatile. You can put him at the 2, you can put him at the 3, you can put him at the 4 when needed. Can challenge any long guy with that physical game of Marvin Jonicio. So it's going to be very interesting as he will be defending Mike Maestre.
Maestre in trouble. Tolentino will try to chase Robbie Manalang. 70-66. Under 5 minutes and 40. Big shot Rob, still at it. The leaner and the miss. Rebound Larry. Forward he goes. Nico Elorde. Going to JP Calvo against Kenny Rojo Curva. Up top to Nico. Lot of time here. A mismatch for Elorde. He will dance. Elorde still at it. There's a foul, which means free throws again.
That was already a dead play para dito South Cotabato. They were forced on Nico Elorde actually doing one-on-ones. But still, Nico Elorde's aggressiveness will get a foul off of Biñan. A chance for them to cut this into a 1-possession ball game.
First one is no good though for the former Blue Eagle and Lasallian as well, Nico Elorde. There you see his family present at the sideline. Big shout out to Garen and Alec Elorde as well, the cousins of Nico who played for the MPBL. That's for Garen, and to Alec who currently plays for Parañaque.
And of course, Nico wants that same story. Parañaque able to get game 1.
Yeah.
So let's see if both Elordes will be lucky here in the playoffs.
70-67. This is the nearest that South Cotabato has come to. But there's the answer from Mike Maestre.
That's
it's
already
2+1.
That's already 4 times this quarter that 2-man game will end in success. That pick and roll has been deadly. You see here the hard show by Marvin Jonicio, able to facilitate to his roller is Robbie Manalang, and able to finish is Mike Maestre. And if it's working, why change it? Once again, Biñan able to extend the lead to 5.
That just gives a lot of fulfillment to Coach Boyet Fernandez. After all, besides winning the championship, one of his missions in the MPBL is to develop young players. As he has gone through all levels in Philippine basketball. 73-67. Elorde attacking. There's a foul. Was it by Pamboy?
Yes, gonna be on Pamboy. After the hesitation, Pamboy looking to the right. Nahuli siya on the recovery on Nico Elorde. Smart move by Nico Elorde. You know, Nico Elorde, it's very underrated. All he uses is ice. Look at here, once again, he looks left, all of a sudden attack strong on the right. Medyo nahuli ng recovery si Pamboy, forced to go for a swipe.
The first free throw is good for Nico Elorde. That trims the lead to 5. Let's see Nico's numbers in terms of free throw shooting. 2 out of 3. But you got to look at the total now for South Cotabato. They've attempted 25 total free throws and only 8 in the first half. You know, free throws could actually be the answer in these last 5 minutes for South Cotabato.
Let's see if they can still retain their aggressiveness and get a lot more free throws to actually cut into the lead.
Fingris, 9 to work with. Mark goes to the corner. Maestre will fire. No good. Rebound Kenny. And there's the putback.
Where did he come from? Kenero Kakurva. No one boxing him out. 4 red shirts, but it's the white shirt who will get the rebound and that second chance point.
Elorde handing it off. Rodriguez tried to go inside, but it's a turnover. Back with Biñan. Raimundo. 2-man game. Maestre to Kenny. Nakakurva. Tough shot. He's fouled.
Kenero Kakurva might be a left-hand shooter, but he is very comfortable attacking right. So you cannot give him that right side, because if he gets that rhythm, he either can create for his teammate or can finish strong or fish for fouls. Once again, Kenero Kakurva fishing for a foul in that last play.
These would be free throws 7 and 8 for Kenny. He's 4 out of 6 so far with 19 points on 7 out of 10 field goal shooting. First one is good for the all-star of Biñan. And more importantly, they keep their advantage.
Yes.
They continue to increase it slowly but surely.
South Cotabato has been trying to knock on the door of Biñan this whole ball game, but they just could not enter. But this is actually the same storyline in that last game. South Cotabato able to pressure in the end game, was able to mount that comeback, and then Christian Farito eventually going for that win. So Biñan has to be wary of the capabilities of South Cotabato.
This timeout is brought to you by the MPBL Party List, ang Liga ng Mamamayang Pilipino. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor at oras na rin para imbitahin ninyo ang inyong mga minamahal sa buhay, ang inyong mga kaibigan para manood ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Mark Cruz and company are currently down by 8 points as this rebound of the game is brought to you by the MPBL Party List, ang Liga ng Mamamayang Pilipino. A putback for Kenny Rojakurva, the leading scorer in this matchup. He now has 21 points. After him, it's 14 across the board for Val Acuña, Mark Cruz, and Jammer Hamito. All for South Cotabato. 77-69. Under 4 minutes remaining. Mark Cruz dancing, shooting, and scoring. He has 16. He's been the man of the second half for South Cotabato. That's after only having 4 points in the first 2 quarters. It's a steal for Marwin and a breakaway for Jonicio with his layup. That trims the lead down to 4. Nice response off of the timeout for Coach Elvis Tolentino's squad. But then again, it's this hump, the 4-point disadvantage, they just could not get over. This fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Still a lot of time here with 3.5 minutes remaining Timeout for Coach Boyet Fernandez. Back inside the home of the MPBL's inaugural season champions, the Batangas City Coliseum. Risa Sato is actually present because Enzo Hoson is here, even though he's not playing because of an ankle injury. And we did see the logo of Cherry there. Another reminder that the PBL is returning this November. The Spikers Turf will be returning next week, so you can catch the team of Juanito Gregorio, the Signal HD Spikers, in action as you take a look at our VIPs. Once again present for our matchup between South Cotabato and Biñan. Later on, it's Batangas City defending its home court against Davao Occidental. Under 3.5 minutes, Pamboy is in trouble. Almost a turnover. 8 on the shot clock. Maestre onto his cutter. Rojo Curva up and under.
What a tough finish off that drop pass coming from Mike Maestre. You don't want South Cotabato to get a rhythm because they can make that comeback. So Kenny Roca Curva quick to answer to return the lead to 6.
Oh, what a 3 by Mark Cruz. And that makes it a one-possession game here in Batangas.
The question was, who will step up after Enzo Hoson getting that injury? So far, it's been Mark Cruz the whole ball game from the free throw line, now making his first 3 here in the ball game.
It's his showdown with Kenny Rojo Curva. 19 for Mark and 23 for Kenny. Here's Mark Pingris passing for cutters. Raimundo has 4 to work with against Aprecu. Pamboy, the fade. That's good.
That was a tough finish para dito kay Pamboy Raimundo. Well defended by Felix Aprecu, but just too skilled on that fadeaway. Once again, returning the lead to 5 para dito sa Biñan.
Those are the first 2 points of Pamboy in the second half. Mark Cruz, tough kick out. Jonicio, a big 3 off to the left. Rebound, put back for the Ant-Man.
There was at least 6 guys inside, but it's the shortest guy getting that basketball, getting that putback. This is a one-possession lead.
These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. 81-78. Raimundo turning around. He needs a teammate. Maestre, 5 to work with. Kenny Rojo Curva to bail them out. Baseline drive. He was fouled by Jonicio.
Oh, that will hurt. That was on the last 2 seconds of the shot clock para sa Biñan, and Jonicio was not able to really go with the speed. But look at that fadeaway by Pamboy Raimundo. Felix Aprecu has been playing terrific defense. On the other end, came from the outside, just was able to get his footing right before he was called for an out of bounds. Quick putback by Mark Cruz.
The showdown continues between the Ant-Man and Kenny Rojo Curva.
It's been a terrific guard matchup between these two.
Kenny at the line. The first one looked sharp. It was good for Kenny. He's now 7 out of 9 from the stripe.
Once again, it's a 4-point hump para dito sa South Cotabato. Can they ever get out of that hump here in this ball game?
A miss on the second for Kenny. 82-78. Mark Cruz will bring it down. 90 seconds remaining. 2 screens present. Mark Cruz left open for 3. That's good. And he stares at Pamboy as he will play defense against him.
That was such a huge 3. There's only a 1-point lead here in the last 1 and 15.
Mark Pingris against Jammer Hamito. Back to that matchup. Pingris onto Kenny Rojo Curva. 8 on the shot clock. Up top to Pamboy. Raimundo will shoot. That's way off. Good defense by South Cotabato.
Mark Cruz knew what Pamboy Raimundo was gonna do. He was playing a little mind game on Pamboy Raimundo, and Pamboy Raimundo went into the bait. Look at that 3 off that double screen. Mark Cruz getting that shot against Pamboy. On the other end, the mind game of Mark Cruz getting into Pamboy. This is an opportunity for South Cotabato to get the lead.
82-81, 1 minute and 1 second remaining. This will be the second to the last timeout for Coach Elvis Tolentino, while Coach Boyd Fernandez has 2.
Wing, ball spin trap, lumusot. Switch na to. Forward switching.
Tatrap lang ako.
Tatrap rito, switch. Help kayo rito para pag nag-roll. Yung kami ito, mapapagaling ko yung ping. Naintindihan niyo ba ako?
Kailangan impresyon dito.
Oo, help tayo rito. Little things. Dalawang beses yung mic. Come on!
Defense has been the theme all season long for Coach Boyd Fernandez. That will have to stand once more against South Cotabato, who were limited in the first half. Remember, they only had 32 in the first half, but now it's 81. So that's 49 points in the third and fourth frames for the Warriors. And of course, we credit a lot to Mark Cruz, already has 24 points, neutralizing the output of Kenny Rocacurva.
Everything needed para sa South Cotabato. Mark Cruz has been providing defense, offense, efficiency in terms of scoring. The only miss of Mark Cruz coming from the free throw line, but he's still very efficient on that aspect. So a look at the defense of Biñan against Mark Cruz right here, because on that timeout, the focus was Mark Cruz.
This is his season best performance after scoring 18 versus Quezon. That was previously his season high. Mark Cruz carrying over his momentum. Valacuña. They go to Jonicio. Inside Hamito. Escape. And South Cotabato has the lead.
Jammer Hamito lost the ball just for a second, but the ball will roll closer to the basket para dito kay Jammer Hamito. Look at that post option. Valacuña, no 3. Quick swing. Oh, we didn't see it on the replay, but that was a good play coming from Coach Elvis Tolentino to get the first lead back of South Cotabato after 2-0.
Walang foul, ha? Walang foul, ha? Pare, 12 ka. Pwede kayo mag-usap na kayo, magtulakan na kayo, ha? Listen, walang foul, ha? Okay. Kenny. Carlo. Pamboy. Carlo ito. Okay. Okay. Screen. Pamboy, labas mo bola nito. Okay. Labas bola. Iverson cut. Bigay mo kay Kenny. UCLA cut. Elevator kay Carlo. Okay. Carlo gets the ball away. Attack Carlo. Penalty sila. Okay, one more. One more. Ulitin natin para malis. Pamboy.
There you see the season averages of Jammer Hamito. 9 points, 7 rebounds per game on 51% field goal shooting in this matchup. He just scored his 15th and 16th points to get the lead for South Cotabato.
Been a terrific ball game para dito kay Jammer Hamito. His matchup with Mark Pingris has been exciting the whole ball game, but looks like he will be getting that edge from that last play. 16 and 11, but this is going to be a very important defensive possession for South Cotabato.
One timeout remaining for each of our coaches. 83-82, Pamboy Raimundo up top. There's the Iverson for Kenny. Rocacurva matched up against Marvin Jonicio. 7 on the shot clock. Carlo Lastimosa. He leans in and misses. Rebound Aprecu. And there's a foul given up by Pingris. That's going to be trouble for South Cotabato because Aprecu will be challenged at the line, and he's not known for his free throw shooting.
That's right. On the side of Biñan, that was the play that Coach Boyet wanted, for Carlo Lastimosa to get out and be able to attack. Just could not get that finish off that floater.
So, as fought for by Felix Aprecu, he was pointing to Nico Elorde,
Yes.
who will be shooting free throws. Of course, he would want Nico to shoot a lot better than him.
Let's see what the call is. Coach Boyet wants Felix Aprecu on the line. Mark Pingles was actually sure na si Felix Aprecu ang kanyang finaul. So let's see what the referees will be deciding on here.
That is a big difference after all.
Yes, definitely.
Elorde has shot the ball 3 out of 4 from the line tonight, while it's 0 out of 2 for Felix Apreco.
Felix Apreco is actually hiding with Coach Elvis Tolentino.
Stop out mo na ako. And it is going to be...
It's going to be Felix Apreco. It is going to be Felix Apreco.
Felix wanted to give the ball back to our referee.
Lahat ng pwedeng dasal, ginagawa na ni Felix. This is going to be huge for them to be able to extend this. But whatever happens, this is going to be a one-possession ball game.
Apreco, the first one is no good. It's the lone flaw in his game tonight. 17 minutes of play, 6 points and 9 rebounds.
You know, you have to be able to credit Mark Pingres on how quick he was able to read. Right away when he saw Felix Apreco was holding that basketball, a quick foul coming from Mark.
Apreco, that's his first make out of 4 tries. South Cotabato is up 84-82 with 37 seconds remaining. Here's KG Canaleta. Almost a steal up top. Bomboy for the lead. In and out. Rebound Elorde. And here's Marvin Janicio. Fouled by Pomboy. So now it will be Marvin who will be tested at the line. These will be the first free throws of Janicio for tonight.
In and out for Pomboy Raimundo. That's why Coach Boyet was saying it's okay. That was the shot they wanted. Off the middle on the strong side of Pomboy Raimundo. Just would not go inside. But pressure-packed free throws para dito kay Marvin Janicio. 1 of 2 will still make this a one-possession ball game.
First one is good for Marvin, who had to break quickly, celebrating after that make. This would make it a 2-possession ball game, and it could be the 3rd upset in the first round of the MPBL playoffs. 1 out of 2. Biñan down by 3, 20 seconds. Rojo Curva to KG. Canaleta double team. KG still in trouble. They go to Kenny at the corner. 10 seconds, he's blocked. And Marvin reflects onto his opponent. He has to be careful with that. You don't want to be called for a tech.
That's right. Emotions are very high, but let's see. The referees are calling for a stoppage here.
A technical foul would mean a lot at this part of the game with only a 3-point difference. That's a good block by Marvin, but there's the flex. And again, it was addressed straight to Kenny Rojo Curva. That could be risky. There was a reaction though from KG Canaleta, which should also be reviewed by our referees.
Emotions are very high. We do know what is at stake. This is a best of 3 only in the playoffs. So this final 8.3 can mean very, very big business come our next game. That's why both teams really have to be careful.
And the next game will happen at Biñan. Inside the Alonte Sports Arena, for sure the emotions will carry over. If the fans are already enjoying game number 1 here in Batangas, what more?
What more?
In game number 2. This will be a big decision from our referees. Are there going to be techs? How many as well? And to whom? Richard Tampos now receiving word. Let's listen in.
Technical foul on South Cotabato, number 12, Marvin Janicio for taunting is 3rd. Technical foul on Biñan Tatak Gel, number 9, KG Canaleta for
There
taunting.
you go.
So it's going to balance out. It's going to be it's going to balance out. But that will hurt more on the side of Biñan because that will be one less shooter para dito sa Biñan.
5 fouls on KG Canaleta, while Marvin can still play. If KG did not retaliate, it could have been a technical free throw for them, and they would have ball possession.
And KG would still have been on the court. And that will mean that is one more guy to actually extend the floor para dito sa Biñan. You see KJ totally unhappy with what happened there.
So Maestre will replace him as he joins Pamboy Raimundo, Carlo Lastimosa, Robbie Manalang is now in, rightfully so, and Mark Pingris. They're down by 3 points with 8.8 seconds remaining. And it has to be a defensive 5 for Coach Elvis Tolentino. We have a timeout before we proceed. This is courtesy of Coach Boyet Fernandez.
Okay, Mike, ikaw to. Jeffrey, ikaw to. Okay? Mark-pick. Sa'yo na yan. Kay Carlo. Mark-pick kay Carlo. Sige. Sige,
Basta, hahanapin yan.
Pag nag-elevator dito, pag nag-elevator dito, emergency. Pag nag-elevator tayo,
Fix tayo, pag nag-elevator kanina, para kanina lang.
Wait lang.
Pag nag-elevator, guys, pag nag-elevator, ito, kung nasan yung bola, ito yung maiiwan dito. Ang pupupuntahan natin to, ha?
Makinig kayo sa akin.
Basta kayo, emergency.
Basta yung tawag nyo malapit.
Wow, that was a huddle with a lot of voices for the South Cotabato Warriors as they play defense versus Biñan. So the defensive 5 would be Felix Aprecu, Jammer Hamito, Marvin Jonicio, Nico Elorde, and Kyle Tolentino. While for Biñan, I did mention this 5, it's Raimundo, Maestre, Manalang, Pingris, and Lastimosa.
Very interesting 5s for both of these teams. On the side of South Cotabato, they can switch with the way these guys play. On the side of Biñan, you have to look at Manalang and Raimundo as your main shooters.
Mark Pingris gets it up top. 6 seconds to work with. Raimundo onto Robbie for 3. No good. And game number 1 will belong to the South Cotabato Warriors. After being down for most of this ball game, they had to rely on their free throws. And ultimately, it was that go-ahead bucket by Jammer Hamito to give them their first lead since the first 2 minutes of this matchup.
Different game, same result. South Cotabato, from their elimination round, was able to come back in the fourth quarter. It's the same story here in this ball game. That pressure defense, eventually having one guy step up on your offensive end in Mark Cruz, ending in a game, in a win for your team. What a terrific ball game for South Cotabato. Just how you want to end the ball game.
This final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Mark Cruz, by halftime, only had 4 points. He had 20 in total in the last 2 quarters. And he finishes perfect from the field. 6 out of 6, including 3 out of 3 from downtown and 9 out of 11 from the stripe, including all of the free throws. 8 out of 8 of South Cotabato in the third quarter. He's our best player of the game, brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro.
He was able to make a big impact in the second half. He was the leader, he was the star, he was everything. That's why he deserves our player of the game honors. Itong si Mark Cruz.
Now Mark, the Ant-Man, is with Megan Cabrera.
Maraming salamat, Migs. Once again, kasama ko ngayon, Mark Cruz, our Daily Fantasy Best Player of the Game. Mark, 24 points, 12 points doon sa fourth quarter lahat. But can you tell me kung ano yung naging inspirasyon mo para sa larong ito? Because you orchestrated so well nung third quarter, yung mga free throws mo really helped keep South Cotabato afloat. And in the fourth quarter, yun nga, nasil nyo ang deal.
Siyempre sa tulong ni God, inspiration ko yan. Yung wife ko na lagi nakasuporta sa akin. And nag-usap na kami nung halftime na hindi enough yung aggressiveness na binigay namin ng first half. So, mas ginusto lang namin manalo ng second half. So, buti, nanalo kami.
Ano ang masasabi mo sa mental fortitude ng team mo, lalo na ang taas ng emosyon? It was very intense, very physical, but at the same time, talagang trinabaho nyo pa konti-konti itong larong to, and it wasn't until the last 50 seconds of the game na talagang nakuha nyo ulit yung lamang.
Shoutout sa kanila. Hindi ko makukuha to ng dahil sa teammates ko. Yung total team effort talaga to, hindi lang sa akin to. Lahat. Even the coaching staff and yung lahat na sumusuporta sa amin. So, thank you talaga.
Oras na para sa mga shoutouts at thank yous.
Thank you sa mga sponsors namin, kay Governor Tamayo, our CS Sportswear, Jinkies Skin, Armor On, and sa lahat ng taga South Cotabato, maayong gabi sa inyong lahat. Sa wife ko, Cheska Cruz, I love you so much. Mama Luz, Papa Dani, Mama, Tatay, Kuya, Ate Da, Ate Gail, mga taga Malvar, Kuya Mike, Ate Lynn, Ate Ida, Ate Kate, Ate Dean, lahat po ay kung kailangan nyo ng mga equipment, MC9 Trading, Facebook, and IG. Boss Danny, magpagaling ka po. I love you so much. Sa Panginoon, maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you and your team. Mark, once again, our best player of the game was brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dahil sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Migs and Coach Juanito.
Mark Cruz was a guy who had to miss out at the middle part of our season. 7 total games for him because of a certain leg injury. And then, he ended the season right, scoring a season-high 18 points with 5 threes versus the Quezon Huskers. Now, he has topped it off with 24 big ones to get game number 1 in the South Division quarterfinals against Biñan, who will defend their home court in game number 2. That would be upset number 3 so far in the playoffs.
You know, it's been a very exciting playoffs to start here in the first round, and what a comeback coming from South Cotabato. That's the way you want to be able to end the game. Terrific defense, be able to pressure out and eventually make your shots in the end game, and they will be going up 1-0 here in our Southern Division playoffs.
Now let's go to our press con.
Welcome to our post-game press conference. Together with us, our winning coach, Elvis Tolentino and Jammer Hamito. Coach, what a game, what an escape win from Biñan. Coach, anong sinabi mo sa mga players mo during sa mga bandang dulo na at nakalusot kayo sa Biñan?
Well, ang sinabi ko lang sa kanila nung halftime, we don't stop. Yun lang talaga. Ano naman maganda naman ang ginagawa, nandun naman yung aggressiveness, pero tumitigil kasi kami paminsan-minsan So, buti nag-respond yung mga players, talagang they didn't stop, no, until we got the W.
Jammer, let's talk about that game-winning play. We all know si Ping, one of the best defenders like do sa PBA, pero in that play naisaan mo. So what was happening there?
Siyempre si Kuya Ping, siyempre idol ko yan Pero dito laro kasi ito Kung ano yung role ko sa team ko, yun yung gagampanan ko para makatulong ako sa team ko.
With that said, Coach, what was the exact design of that winning play from Jammer?
Well, ginawa lang namin, in-execute lang namin yung play na ginagawa namin. I just told them to hit the screens. Kasi hindi tumatama yung screens Parang minsan pagka nandadaya, hindi nila binabasa kung ano yung ginagawa ng depensa.
Coach, on the defensive end naman, parang nagkaagulo pa kayo, pero but still, nakuha nyo pa rin yung W.
When it comes dun sa defense, mas gugustuhin ko na yung gano'n na aggressive kaysa sa maayos pero hindi naman aggressive. No? Maganda sana yung pick namin in time na maayos yung, sabi mo nga, medyo magulo, pero nandun kasi yung willingness talaga to stop the player. Kaya yun din ang magandang ilalagay namin sa attitude ng mga players.
What a big win for Coach Elvis Tolentino. You know, this could actually be his first playoff win as a head coach in the MPBL because Marikina was the number 8 seed for the past couple of seasons against Titans in Nueva Ecija and Pampanga. So a big congratulations to him. But that's only the first game for today. Up next, we'll have the main event. Batangas City will defend their home court against the Davao Occidental Tigers. A battle between two previous champions in the MPBL. Batangas in Season 1 and Davao in Season 3. That concludes our first game. A very nice 12-point comeback for South Cotabato, who only got the lead back in the last minute of play against Mark Pingris and company. But they will have a chance for retribution this next Thursday. Game number 2 inside the Alonte Sports Arena. For Megan Cabrera and Juanito Gregorio, my name is Migs Gomez. Magbabalik pa po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan.